feel like when I entered into the dating scene, it was like, it's crazy out there. And I wanted to help out a sister. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. I am so glad that you're here, that you're joining me, that we're gonna hang out for a little bit. Today's video I'm actually really excited about because it's a topic that means a lot to me and that honestly I could talk about for forever, and that is the topic of dating. Listen, I feel like when I was still in the dating scene, I've been married for 2.5 years, if you're curious, but when I entered into the dating scene, it was like, it's crazy out there, and I want to help out a sister, okay? I want to help out a sister. So I got 4 dating tips for you guys today. If you have ever felt like the dating world is just crazy out there and you feel like, are there any good guys left? If you've ever asked yourself the question, is there any guys out there that still share my values? How do I attract the right people? And how do I spot a bad apple? I know we've all asked those questions. So that's what today's video is going to be all about. So if you're interested, I hope that you stick to the end of this video. And I also want to let you know that if you don't know me, my name is Yorros. I make videos about Christian lifestyle, about being a wife. I throw some home decor videos in there and just overall, you know, making my home and making it beautiful, but all really centered around a Christian lifestyle as a woman. So I am so excited that you're joining me here. And if it's your first time, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. But without any further ado, let's get into it. And for those of you who might not know or are just curious, I am a Christian. So a lot of my perspective is going to come from the fact that I am a Christian, that, you know, I am a believer. And so I will get my perspective from a biblical perspective. But I think that these tips can still work for anyone, no matter what you believe in, and hopefully you'll be able to kind of see my perspective and why I hold these values and these beliefs. But anyways, the first tip that I want to give you guys is, what is your purpose with dating? So for me, for example, when I was wanting to date, I wanted to be wife material because I wanted to get married. And I think that there's this misconception that, you know, that this is maybe an antiquated way of doing things where you're like, okay, I am going to date, but I have the end goal of I want to get married. But the thing is, if that is not your end goal, you just want to have a good time, then, you know, the guy that you attract is most likely going to have the same thing in mind, or you're going to enter into a relationship where it's just about having a good time. And just from, you know, what I've experienced and what I have friends, you know, and people that I know that have dated and really it was a relationship where the guy or even the girl just wanted to have a good time, or someone for company, or someone to go out on dates, that it really didn't end super well. That a lot of the times, you know, and I'm not going to say this happens every time, but a lot of the time that leads to a lot of heartache, and it leads to a lot of I think disappointment. I think human beings, we were created by God to really desire connection. And what happens when we are just, you know, kind of casually dating, and nothing wrong with that. I'm not going to say that it's wrong to go out on dates. I'm not going to be the creepy Christian that is telling you if you go out on one date, you're going to get married. That's creepy. But what I am trying to say is, like, really look inwards, like look in your heart and say, why do I want to enter into a dating relationship? Am I just looking for companionship? Am I just looking to have a good time? And am I trying to fulfill other things? I'm not going to go down that rabbit hole, but why are you wanting to enter into a dating relationship? I think that's going to be super important. Like, why? The why. Because I think that's going to determine the kind of people that you're going to allow into your heart or allow into your life. And so as a Christian woman, I'm going to be super honest. I was looking to get married. I was in a stage of life where I had graduated college. I was working my big girl job as a nurse. And so I was looking for someone to share the rest of my life with, honestly. And I wanted to be a wife and a mom. I knew that that's something that I desired. I grew up with this, you know, and I wasn't a Christian my entire life, to be super honest with you. I came to Christ as a teenager, and I didn't grow up necessarily in like a Christian home watching VeggieTales. Like, nothing wrong with that. So I knew that I wanted to be a wife. I wanted to put my family first. I wanted those things. So anyways, that's kind of my first tip. You know, what are your intentions with dating? Because that's going to really determine, I think, really your dating experience. The second thing that I want to say is, where are you meeting people? Where are you meeting guys, right? Because, you know, if you're a guy and you're watching this, totally cool. But, you know, I do want to say to the ladies, like, where are you looking for that, you know, connection? Like, the reality is, if you want to date, if you want to find someone, you have to sometimes really put yourself out there. Not really put yourself out there, but I guess what I'm trying to say is you have to go to places where there's single people, right? So if your church is having some kind of Christian event for singles, or if your church is having like a young adult retreat, if you're, you know, you have to get into that community where there are Christian singles who share your same values. But if you're looking to date people, and if you're, you know, looking to date guys and really start trying to find someone that, you know, you could possibly, you know, enter into a serious relationship with, then you have to be at the right places. Like, you know, I've had friends, I myself was like this, so I'm not even gonna judge. I cannot judge. And but I with myself was like this. I was like very closed off and very like, ooh, I'm not gonna flirt. I'm not gonna, and I'm not telling you to flirt, but, you know, I'm not gonna put myself out there or anything like that. But you don't have to do it in distasteful manner. You know what I mean? Like, you don't have to flaunt your body, because I definitely think that's not going to get you the right attention. I don't think that you have to be like this super outgoing, flirtatious person. I think that can be kind of can get, you know, shine you in a not so positive light. I really honestly believe that you can give off that energy of like, you know, dress up, look nice, look put together, don't look like you got ran over by a truck. Like, get dressed up, put some makeup on, you know, look cute. That's totally fine. I think, you know, if a guy comes up to you and he asks for your name, if he asks for your number, you know, and he looks like a good, decent human being, you know, see what happens, you know, make a conversation. You know, guard your heart for sure. And you know, if you don't know that person, it's not like, hi, you know, this is my entire life story. No, like, be careful, be discerning, but, you know, don't be scared because, you know, a member of the opposite sex is interested in you, you know, and made a move. Like, so cool, you know, make a conversation, go out to coffee. I think there is nothing like easier and like low stakes than like a coffee date. Like, you're just going to Starbucks, man. Don't even do the expensive coffee shop. Just go to Starbucks. My sister, one of her very first dates with her fiance, and their story is kind of hilarious because he literally took her on a date, and then when asked about it, he was like, that was not a date. And so the beginning of their relationship was hilarious, in my opinion. But like, their first date, I think it was to like a coffee shop, or like their second date or something. Like, so like super low stakes, you know what I mean? It's not an expensive outing. It's not like too romantic. It's literally a, let's get to know each other. You know, where did you grow up? You know, what, are you a Christian? Oh, what denomination? And like, you know, what does your pastor preach about? Like, just, you know, make small talk and, you know, get into some conversations. Super low stakes, you know, don't now start thinking about all the kids that you can have with this dude that you went on a coffee date with. No, like, striking up conversation. You don't have to be like creepy or inappropriate and, you know, be someone you're not. Just, you know, be yourself, and you'll attract someone amazing, I'm sure. Anyways, so my third tip is you have to be patient. Again, it all boils down to, what is your intention with wanting to date? You know, are you looking for something serious, for a long-term relationship, you know, for possibly getting married? If that's something that you're looking for, you're going to have to be very patient. The reality is, I didn't date a whole bunch of people. I didn't date much at all, really. Like, Daniel was my first real boyfriend. So, and I consider myself very fortunate, because honestly, sometimes it takes, you know, a couple of tries and a couple of maybe not so great experiences to realize, you know, how to discern someone's character maybe, and how to, you know, figure out. Listen, I am not going to be the person here online telling you that dating is easy, that, you know, you might not get, you know, that you won't get hurt a time or two, and that you won't get your hopes up to be disappointed. Dating is hard. Like, finding love, finding someone to spend the rest of your life with, it's really hard. And I'm going to validate that right now. It is redonkulous hard. But the reality is, it's so worth it to find like a good person that really cares about you and shares your values. But I digress. This is why you have to be patient, because quite honestly, you're going to have to pace yourself. You know, it's not like it could happen, right? Odds are you're going to be, you might have to go on a date or two, you know, that you're not just gonna meet someone one day and the next day you're already engaged. Like, you have to be patient. And then if you really do meet someone that, man, they're great, and you know, when they take you out on dates, they treat you right, you seem to be sharing the same values, then it takes time to even just develop a relationship. So all I'm trying to say is love takes time. And so put that in the hands of God. Say, okay, God, listen, this is what I want, but I'm going to be patient. Because the moment that you get impatient, that's the moment that we can start making bad decisions. And I encounter that in my own life. I'm not going to get into it, but when we get impatient, that's the moment where, like, you know, weird stuff starts happening. And again, we're trying to be, you know, holy. We're trying to, you know, give God our best. We're trying to, you know, set some boundaries around our dating relationship. And I can totally make a whole video about boundaries, about saving sex for marriage, and how that whole experience went for me. But it's not easy. And it takes a lot of patience, and it takes a lot of submitting things to God and saying, listen, God, I want to do this your way, because I know it's the best way for me to come out healthy and whole, and you know, out of dating and this whole crazy world of dating, because it is quite difficult, I think, nowadays, just with social media and so many things. But take time to really say, you know, assess how you feel and say, okay, do I see some red flags? And don't deny when you see some red flags. But really just be patient, give it to God. Trust the people in your life who might be telling you, hey, you know, that guy looks good and everything, but you know, I'm not super in love with how he treats you, you know, and listen to friends, listen to family members in your life. So yeah, it all takes a whole lot of patience, especially when you really desire to enter into a dating relationship. All right, guys. So the fourth and final bonus tip is going to be put God first. If you're watching this and you're not a Christian, you might be looking at me like, you know, I'm not a Christian. But honestly, I found that putting God first helped me with the first 3 tips that I gave you. Like, you know, wanting to develop myself to be the best that I could be, to be wife material, to search in the right places, and to be patient with myself and with, you know, the whole dating situation. I am the kind of person that if something's not working out, like, I don't ask for help. I don't want to hear anybody else's opinions. I will fix it. Like, I'm gonna make it work out. But that doesn't always end well, honestly. So all that I'm trying to say is, like, when you put God first, you know, you have to be whole and healthy. And I'm not trying to say that you got to be perfect to date, but I'm saying being whole, being healed. You know, if you've encountered trauma or hurt and stuff in the past, like, all of that stuff needs to heal. You know, we all come with baggage to all of our relationships. Like, no human being is perfect. No human being has ever been perfect, but Jesus himself, when he walked on this planet. We don't have to be perfect to date. But what I am trying to say, like, when we have God in our lives, you know, let him heal the trauma, the stuff that we've been through. When we have God in our lives and we really are like, okay, Lord, I'm going to walk this out with you. You have peace. You know, God gives you wisdom, and God gives you the ability to say, okay, no, that's a red flag. And God gives you the confidence to be like, no, this is how I want to be treated. Like, this is my value system, and you have to respect that. And I feel like God has also given me this boldness, you know, when it came to dating, where, you know, maybe I had someone approach me that I say, you know what, like, we don't share the same values, or, you know, I appreciate that, but, you know, I'm working on me right now. And like, I don't know, like, I feel like God gave me the boldness to really defend my heart and be like, no, like, no, thank you, you know, because maybe entering into that relationship wouldn't have been the wisest thing. So if you don't have God in your life, you know, I just want to say, being a Christian has been the most beautiful thing I've gotten to walk through. It has not been easy, but it has really made me such a better person. I love the Lord, and of course, you know, he is our Savior. He is, you know, serving God is not some part of my life. It is truly my life. So anyways, I just want to leave you with that. But I hope that these tips have helped you in some way, shape, or form. Maybe you really needed a sister you know, right here on the internet to tell you, yes, it is hard. You're not crazy. It is hard to date, you know, but it's so worth it, you know, especially when you get to find the right person. And you have to be patient. You have to be wise, and just, you know, your heart is precious. Your heart is precious. Your mental peace is precious. Having someone entering into a relationship with you, you know, a godly man entering into a relationship with you, a godly woman, it's no small thing, you know, and you have to really respect and love yourself, and yeah. So I want you to, you know, succeed. I want you to find someone that you can truly spend the rest of your life with, and it be a healthy, peaceful, full of God relationship. But anyways, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. It helps out my channel. And yeah, I just put a bunch of Christian content for women out there. So I hope that you enjoy, and I will see you in the next one.